If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good afternoon, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is December the 19th, 2023, and today the topic is, who's in charge? Yes, y'all, who's in charge? Yes, as I mentioned earlier, happy afternoon, because it was noon on the dot once I started this live. And yeah, man, I've already had an eventful morning. Believe it or not, your girl was out and about running errands and whatnot. I know y'all probably like, but you in your robe. I know. I came on back home and got back comfortable. But yeah, my husband wanted me to run some errands and whatnot on behalf of the family this morning, so I went and did that. And then I was debating. I'm like, I was trying to study, and I kept being distracted. It was either my husband or my son. And I'm like, okay. And then at some point, I'm thinking, am I going to do the juice today? I was receiving, but at the same time, I was like, kept being distracted that I was like, okay. And then when he asked me to run the errand, I'm like, I might as well just post that, no juice today. But I didn't feel led to do that. I didn't feel led to post no juice. And so by the time I got back, I was like, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and, go live anyway. And it took me a while and whatnot to get back to where I was and whatnot. But I'm here. And the question is, who's in charge? Like right when I was getting ready or going to get my water and I had just got done writing the verses down and stuff, the song Charles in Charge came into my heart and mind this morning. So I revamped it. Look, and just in case you don't know the answer, I guess this is about to be a spoiler alert of who's truly in charge. And it goes like this. God's in charge of our days and our nights. Y'all know that song? God's in charge of our wrongs and our rights. And I sing, I want God in charge of me. That's the GSL version. We know that it says Charles in charge, but I mean, for the purposes of today's conversation, God's in charge. And again, I said that's the spoiler alert of this conversation. You may be wondering, how did I get to this today? Again, I told you all I was distracted and everything. But when I did listen to the prayer meditation this morning, and then when I did kind of set on my mind from all the distractions, this idea about control came into my heart and mind. And, first I was kind of inspired because a quote that I had heard in my childhood came into my heart and mind this morning. And that quote is, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I did a little research behind that quote today, and it turns out to be a book and everything like that. But I heard it from Coach Obie Johnson growing up, and I believe that majority of the kids in our hometown, they're familiar with that quote from him. But I don't know. As I was reflecting on that this morning, I was like, in some ways that is true. If it is to be, it is up to you, right? It's up to you to make decisions. It's up to you to make changes. It's up to you to, go through your journey and life and things of that nature. Yes, a lot is up to us. But then at the same time, again, with me reflecting on this concept of control and then going deeper and looking into, again, God being in control and things of that nature, it started to make me wonder, is it truly up to me? If it is to be, is it truly up to me? I mean, yeah, I got free will, X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, we're all under God's control and God's plan at the end of the day. And I know that may bring us a lot of different questions. We're like, well, Lord, you got me in this bad situation, right? we can point fingers at the Lord at that point and say, well, it's your fault because this is your plan and things are going the way you want it to go and things of that nature. But I think if we come to God with that perspective, then obviously we don't have the wisdom and the understanding and whatnot of, again, what all is at play. And I would say that again as I was going deeper this morning. There was several articles that I ended up reading at gotquestions.org that kind of addressed all of these different things. And you guys can go and check them out as well. I mean, there's a couple of them that I put in the Go Deeper section. One that directly correlates with this conversation is the one that's called, How Can I Learn to Trust That God is in Control? That one breaks things down in such a beautiful way, and, hopefully will help us all to understand things on another level when it comes to this conversation of God being in charge and us, and where we fall into that and all of that, right? And obviously it talks about, I believe, because again, I read several articles this morning in the midst of all of my distractions, but I believe that it was this article that pointed out, how God's plan played out, for example, in Joseph's life and things of that nature. Him being in prison and going through all the things that he went through was all a part of God's plan for him to basically take care of a nation and things of that nature. And so, again, we can go through down seasons. We can go through down moments and it don't feel good, right? You're like, why, Lord? But at the end of the day, again, I talk about this all the time, but our friends over there got, the Cross-Examined, Mr. Frank Tour breaks it down in a way, again, that's beautiful, that hopefully will help us all understand a little bit more. But there is something called the ripple effect, and we have to understand that, again, the things that we say, do, choose matters, yes, but at the same time, it's not going to stop God's plan. So things are not like changing and shifting based on, again, what we decide to do, nor what Satan is doing, for example. It is all according to God's plan. At least that's what I received as I was going deeper about all these things. And so here go the verses that were standing out to me this morning. Romans 12:1, it says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. At the end of the day, you have a choice. Matter of fact, in the Go Deeper section, I only put one verse in particular, and I believe that verse will help us. If you read it and reflect on it, it will help us to understand just how huge the choice that we have is. And sure, God is saying that, hey, I give you the choice between good and evil. But he literally says, I want you to do this. But at the end of the day, we have that free will to choose. And that's not going to change, again, God's plan at the end of the day. That's not going to change what that God wins at the end of the day and things of that nature. But it will change your location. And so, again, that's how important that choice is. But, so I guess this verse is encouraging us today to present our bodies as a living sacrifice to God. Use our free will to submit to the Lord and his will and way. Again, I mean, as I was reflecting on all of this and again about God's control and things of that nature, I'm like, again, we can easily point the finger if we don't have the wisdom, right? If we are, maybe babes in the faith or things of that nature, we can easily point the finger, just read this information about God being in control and then just blame him about all of our, bad days and suffering and things of that nature. And we forget about, again, that he himself suffered for us, which is something that he didn't have to do at all. Like, he could have just let it all fall by the wayside. But to make a way for us, he came down in the form of a man through Jesus to, again, make a way. And so the least we could do is use our free will to choose him at the end of the day. Versus, again, just being like the Sims game or being a robot or something that is controlled to love God. Like, that's not, again, true love. But I don't know if I'm talking over people's heads today and everything. It's all, according to where you are spiritually. But again, that first verse is just reminding us to present our bodies as a living sacrifice to God, holy and acceptable. And that is our spiritual worship. Here's another verse, Romans 9 and 17. It says, for the scripture says to Pharaoh, for this very purpose I have raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed all through the earth. Now, I did not go and confirm that he's talking to the Pharaoh that Moses was dealing with, but that's the one that came into my heart and mind as I was reading this and writing the verse down. And, according to my understanding of different historical accounts, those that were pharaohs, they truly saw themselves as gods, right? They saw themselves as above, they saw themselves as worthy of worship and things of that nature. And so for our living God to say that, hey, at the end of the day, you're only in the position that you're in because I put you there, and it's to proclaim, my name throughout all the earth. I don't know who don't know, the story about the parting of the Red Sea and things of that nature. And ultimately that Pharaoh losing his life alongside of all the other amazing miracles that happen in his ongoing hardening of heart and things of that nature. And so, again, that's just another little small example to show, again, that even, good or bad or whatever the case may be, God is in control of it all. And so, again, when we're going through things, I think it would be more wise to think about, instead of, again, pointing the finger at the Lord and just blaming him and saying, oh, well, you put me in this position, it's your fault, perhaps it's better to start to ask the Lord, well, what is it that you want me to see in this situation? What is it you want me to do with this situation? How is this going to help the next person? Things of that nature. At least that's what I found in my life to be beneficial and things of that nature. So just something to think about. I got another verse. Let me see. It is Proverbs 16 and 4. It says, the Lord has made everything for its purpose, even the wicked, even the wicked for the day of trouble. So again, that just pretty much reiterates what that last verse talks about. Again, all the wicked, evil things that we see going on today, it's all for a reason, at the end of the day. So people are making choices and stuff too, and it's easy to just look at the people that we're dealing with and look at, the evil situations and stuff. As I was, again, writing these different verses down, there came to this account where I was remembering some type of, I don't know if it was on Netflix or something, but I heard about this story of this young man that dealt with, a little boy really that dealt with abuse from, I guess, I don't know if it's supposed to be his parents or foster parents, whoever they were, so much abuse to where there was they found the little boy with the hole in his head and all kinds of stuff. And that type of evil, you're like, Lord, why didn't it bypass this little boy? Why did he have to go through that and everything like that? And we may never fully understand why he had to go through that and whatnot. And it probably, again, it don't seem fair. It don't seem like, it seems like children should be born and be loved versus go through such evil, wicked things at the hands of people that are allowing evil, wicked, or doing evil, wicked things. But again, we don't know, right, what that little boy's life, what the overall message of that little boy's life, entails. Who knows? I don't know if there's been foundations set up in his name. I don't know if, again, just by me remembering the memory of him right now, is something that is a part of the journey, things of that nature. And so, again, because we don't know the full picture, and there's probably things that we probably won't ever know until we're in heaven, again, I believe it's more beneficial for us to figure out what our part in the story is and everything like that. Matter of fact, that's reminding me of another article that I read this morning at GodCourses.org that I did put in the Go Deeper section that you guys can peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. And this article is called what is the key to applying Bible in my life? I hope that you guys check both of these articles out, because again, there's a lot of wisdom there that I think will hopefully encourage you and inspire you in different parts of life and things like that. Again, the ups and the downs, understanding that, again, things are happening for a reason. God is in control. Even my down seasons for a reason. I talk all the time about my down season during the cultivation period, because the Lord used that time in my life for such a time as this today. And there's individuals I talk to and try to encourage and inspire that may be going through a similar situation that I went through those years ago. Again, the daily inspiration, all these different things are correlated because of, again, choices that were made 10, 11 years ago. And so, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be where I am today. I'm thankful that I, started to allow God to, acknowledge God's control over my life, and started to lean and depend on Him for, I guess, the vision of what He wanted to do versus trying to continue to go my own way. Again, I have no clue where I would be if I was still on that path. I don't think I would be where I'm at today in regards to joy, happiness, peace, love, and all those things. So, hey, again, I'm just one person out here sharing my testimony and things in the hopes to encourage and inspire. But I have just one more verse, I think, for you guys to reflect on, and it is Psalm 115:3. It says, our God is the... I'm sorry, y'all. I know how I get. Let me put these glasses on. Maybe I'll see a little better with these, or I ain't want to be. Let's see. Our God is the... in the heavens. Got it. Our God is in the heavens. He does all that He pleases. At the end of the day, once we get an understanding of that and acknowledge that that's who He is and what He do, then, it will put things into perspective about, again, us and our lives. So, this is ultimately the juice this morning. There's plenty of verses and articles and things to reflect on and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Ultimately, the juice this morning, if you didn't know, God is in charge. Let Him be in charge and see things come together for you. Good, bad, it doesn't matter. All things work together for the good of those that love God. And that's the juice. That is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Psalm 47:1. It says, "Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph." Friends, I hope y'all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month? That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because, we enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye-bye.